I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Be honest to my subscribers on the channel. By the way, thank you guys for being subscribed to my channel. I really appreciate it. And it is my obligation to keep it real with you guys. I did not pay attention to the second half of Clippers Mavericks really at all because of this insane rap beef between Drake and Kendrick. And I was completely distracted by that. And my God, I know this is a basketball channel, but I have also, done non-basketball stuff on this channel before. But my God, was that song fucking crazy from Kendrick. Drake's was hard too, but then Kendrick all of a sudden dropped right after Drake dropped and just immediately stopped all that shit. And that song is crazy. And I've just been stunned for like 25 minutes. Paul George and James Harden are very fucking lucky that everyone was paying attention to Kendrick and Drake, or at least, probably aside from Clipper fans and Maverick fans, obviously. But I'm sorry, guys. The first half was very fun. The Clippers made their run in the second quarter after the Mavericks really started off well despite Kyrie Irving having 2 points in the first half. But after that, I'm sorry, it was a little shaky. I kept looking up, and the Mavericks were making short roll decisions, PJ Washington and everybody else getting corner threes. Looking up, James Harden missing layups and teardrops that he was making in Game 4. But, sorry, I was distracted by the rap beef, and so I was going to throw up an instant reaction tonight. While I did watch the other playoff game, Cavs Magic, and we'll talk about that, but I just felt obligated to tell my subscribers who are taking the time to listen to this video that I was distracted. And hopefully, if you do like rap and hip-hop and you are very interested in this beef, because I think this beef is something that the genre has never seen before, feel free to comment, because that tonight has been fucking wild. And I'm sorry, sometimes just cosmic forces just take me away, even from an all-time, really just a big-time series loss for the Clippers. And I'm interested to see what changes they're going to make. And if you're a 76er fan, because I'm still thinking about how the series ended last night, that was a pretty nice result, or a nice consolation prize, because we can now await and see what's going to happen with them. All right, let's talk about Game 6 of the Cleveland-Orlando series, because I thought the Magic were going to win in 6, but Cleveland is starting to scare me a little bit. One, Donovan Mitchell's knee injury is clearly bothering him, even though he dropped 50 tonight. The coaching of J.B. Bickerstaff is also concerning me, because he keeps playing George Niang. I felt like Niang had a few too many little fuck-ups in the third quarter. The offensive foul on Jalen Suggs not really being a factor in this series as a three-point shooter. He made his second three of the entire series in this game. And, of course, just having trouble staying in front of Banchero and sometimes Franz Wagner. I don't know why Karis LeVert only got 7 minutes in this game, when, it was clear in the fourth quarter, at least, Darius Garland was just not locked in. He was great through the first 3 quarters after what has been kind of an up and down series for Darius Garland. But, it would have been nice to have an extra ball handler in there to kind of, move the defense around a little bit in the fourth quarter. And I just felt like Mitchell, it was an incredible performance, and he really did score all of the Cleveland Cavaliers' points in that fourth quarter. But that's just fucking adherent, man. You cannot leave Mitchell out to dry like that. Evan Mobley just really underwhelming offensively, awesome defensively, I will say that. But it can't just be Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland combining for 70 points, and then you're getting nothing out of Marcus Morris, who was moved to the starting lineup, and he's just fouling all over the place and not hitting his threes. And then meanwhile, Paolo Banchero just taking his time getting to the block, turning around, hitting those turnaround jumpers. Franz Wagner, at least in the first half, was very good and very aggressive. And the Cavaliers just had no idea what to do with the Magic's size. Now, ironically enough, the Cavaliers were getting to the paint, and Donovan Mitchell was just absolutely torching the Magic and getting to the paint at will. I think 30 of his first 32 points were in the paint. Only shot 3 of 9 from 3, so it's not like he was shooting the lights out from beyond the arc, but Donovan Mitchell was doing his best to keep the Cavs in it. Through the struggles and the little fuck-ups the other guys were doing, Darius Garland had 2 bad plays in the fourth quarter. One was an 8-second violation. The other one he missed, I believe it was Cole Anthony, on an offensive rebound when Donovan Mitchell went to come help. That didn't make matters great at all. And now the Cavaliers, after handpicking this series, is going back home. And really what concerned me by the end of that game is the Magic looked like they had fresh legs at the end of the game, while the Cavaliers just looked tired. Mitchell was clearly being bothered by that left knee. Darius Garland, his up and down play, you really had hoped that, Darius Garland has had a down year. I've mentioned this before on the channel, and he's dealt with injuries too, but just too many inconsistent up and downs in this series. It's just really wild, especially the blowouts in Orlando. I thought he was particularly bad. And, this game, I thought through the first 3 quarters, he was awesome. He was confident. He was taking pull-up threes. He was, dishing the rock really well. And just for some reason in the fourth quarter, he just did not get involved. Donovan Mitchell was taking every shot. How can Darius Garland only take 1 shot in the fourth quarter? Like, that's crazy. And then the Magic's size really just bothered the Cavaliers, I thought. You give up 15 offensive rebounds, and Jarrett Allen, who knows when he's going to come back. This is kind of the brink for the Cavs because some massive changes could be coming if they don't get out of this first-round series. They better win on Sunday. I will say this just for a little bit of transparency. I do want to see Celtics Magic because I think that would be a better series. I think if the Cavs play the Celtics, it's just about styles making fights. If the Cavs played the Celtics, I think the Cavs would get absolutely run out the gym, especially with how injured their best player is, and who knows how long this Jarrett Allen injury could last. I don't know how you can only get Evan Mobley 5 shots, and I thought Evan Mobley also passed up on some open threes that he had, threes that he was taking earlier in the first 2 games of the series, hasn't taken a 3-pointer since. And, him being the lone center back there, it kind of unlocks stuff for the Cavaliers, but they're also pretty small. And if you're just talking about guys who are more of a threat to score offensively right now, you would probably take Jarrett Allen's roll rim threat over Evan Mobley's. And look, Evan Mobley, I think, is a fine offensive player. I wish he was more advanced than... He's not as far as I would like him to be. I think he's on track, but you'd kind of need him in this series to create some shots because the Magic have big mismatches on the other end of the court with 6'10" Paolo Banchero and 6'10" Franz Wagner and Jalen Suggs just flying off screens, taking and making every 3 that's thrown his way. I love Jalen Suggs, by the way. I've always liked him. I always hope the injuries, the nagging injuries, could kind of be put behind him because he likes to play extremely hard and picks up these really just nagging ankle injuries here, knee-to-knee contact here, and it just every time is just minor injuries, but that dude competes his ass off. Somebody said he's like Marcus Smart, but just a little bit more crazier. He's also a better shooter than Marcus Smart, so that would actually be a great outcome for the Magic if Jalen Suggs ends up being great shooter Marcus Smart, but regardless, the Cavaliers got to figure out a way to get Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to synergize at the same time. They got to get Evan Mobley some more easy looks, kind of similar of what they do to Jarrett Allen when he was the lone big. And the Cavaliers shooters actually got to make shots. And JB Bickerstaff, when all is lost, he has to play 3-guard lineups with ball handlers more. Karis LeVert cannot play 7 minutes. He just cannot. I know they don't have a lot of options, but you have to create offense some way or another. You got to get Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland kind of moving off ball instead of just, feel like it's a little bit more your turn, my turn. Also, there's some element to that as well. Game 7's going to be exciting, man.